Georgia with a big win in the headline game of the day in college football, 24-17, their third consecutive win over the Florida Gators. Georgia head coach Kirby Smart at the podium in Jacksonville as it's happening now.
Pressure, he embraced it. He wore gold shoes with the expectation that he was going to win both races, the 2 and the 4, and we kind of showed him a special about that. And I really thought our players embraced the challenge today. Block the outside noise. We know that we control how we play. We control what we do by how we play, and the outside noise is just that. And our kids grinded and worked hard, so I'm proud of them. Played really physical, played really hard, and give Florida a lot of credit. That's a really good football team. You know, I got a lot of respect for Dan and their program. They do a tremendous job. But our kids were resilient today, and I think you guys saw that firsthand.
Kirby, can you talk about just Jake and third down and your offense and third down today?
Yeah, I mean, start with the positive. Third down was really good. We were able to convert some big third downs. I mean, some down and distances that they've been really good on third and long. You know, Tebow talked about it this morning on SEC Nation, and it's tough to convert those long yardage third downs, but when Jake has time, he's really efficient. And I thought our receivers gained a lot of confidence throughout this game. We had all of them there and accounted for. They were all healthy, and they played well too to help Jake. But let's be honest, those good 5 guys up front were blocking some pretty good pass rushers one-on-one, and that was probably the difference in the game. I never doubted Lawrence would play. I had no idea what role that would take on. You know, I didn't know how many hits he'd be able to take, how many blocks he'd be able to make. He's a warrior. He's a competitor, and I never doubted that. But I didn't know how big the role was. Shoot, I don't even know how many catches he had. So, I mean, I know he played big.
He had 7 catches for 120 yards. When you look
That's
at
big.
Performance, and you say the term warrior, what type of things do you see from him that makes you say that, and what did you see throughout the week in his determination to play in this game?
Well, he was determined from the start. He was on the side running. He was doing things, wearing Kevlar pads. I mean, he did everything he could. Rehabbed every day. He did extra. I mean, he couldn't do any more than he already did to get out there and play. His biggest concern for me was conditioning, and he had to come out several plays. And there were some plays we'd have liked to have gotten to him that he wasn't able to sustain. It wasn't injury. It was conditioning. And you can condition on a bike and swim and run until you get out there and run routes. It's different, and he was able to do a little bit of that, but probably not to the level he needed to. But just proud of him. He's a competitor. I've known him since he was in high school, and he had a big game, and so did a lot of other guys on that Georgia uniform.
And then in terms of pretty well limited the Florida running game, you know, and what would you say about the pressure you got on Travis? I know he gets rid of the ball really quick.
Yeah, I thought that was the plan going in. We wanted to suffocate the run, make them one-dimensional. If you can make them one-dimensional, they're going to hit plays on you now. They got as good a group of receivers. I'm telling you, there's 4 guys that are going to be playing in the NFL of their wideouts, and I'm including the tight end. They got good wideouts, and that was my concern coming into the game. And we knew that we may have to give something up to get something back, but it felt like you had to play for the pass, and you had to stifle the run in order to make them one-dimensional, which the flip side of that was I didn't think they would be able to do to us, but early on it was almost, mirror images. We couldn't run the ball, but we were able to throw it.
You had to stick with it. Was this one of those things with the run game where you just got to keep going?
Oh, you got to. I mean, if you don't run the ball in this league, pass rushers will chew you up. I mean, when they see pass every play, they'll feast. They're just like sharks in the water. They'll attack you. You got to keep them honest. You got to wear them down. And I know y'all don't believe in it, and y'all think it's boring, and y'all hate it, and it's not explosive. I get it. Okay, but in this league, you got to be able to have the threat of that in order to sustain. And look, we have not arrived. We are not. We have to get better. There are a lot of things that we've got to work on, and we got some really tough teams coming up to play, and that's what I reiterated to our guys.
Probably would, coaches, players, everybody, and that's as you look at it. But when you get big games, margin for error is small, and it's easy to look back and say, boy, I would have liked to fix that, like to fix this for us. Key stats to me, again, no turnovers in the game, which, you really would have liked to have created a turnover or two in the course of a game. A couple mistakes, some negative yardage plays offensively. I thought really set us back at times to get us off schedule, and hard to do that coming back. And then, on third down, our third down defense was really good. Our red zone defense I thought was good, and for the most part, you know what I mean? And but we didn't get off the field on third down. You figure a team like that, you're going to let them drive, and if you eventually stop them in the red zone in the end. And we did that for most of the night. But third down defense was a big one for us. So.
And the last scoring drive you guys had took almost 7 minutes off the clock. Was some of that trying to get your defense a rest?
No. I mean, when you're down 2, you got to score once first. So it is, let's make sure we put a solid drive together and get the touchdown first. And we did that. And that's kind of the whole thought that goes into that is, don't panic. Don't need to panic. Run our offense, execute our offense. Let's take it down the field. We executed clean. We punched it in. And, we executed clean. I thought we played okay on offense at times. Just some mistakes kept setting us back at different points of the game. And, obviously only ran 52 plays offensively, so that's not very good. And, needed to stay on the field better on offense and get off the field on defense. So,
Coach, they do anything special to stop you guys in the run game? You really had nothing on the ground tonight.
No. I didn't do anything to me. We fell behind. We wanted to take the lead. We fell behind early. And so we were throwing a little bit more. The goal was to try to take the lead. I think, they scored that touchdown to take the lead was a big, I think that was the biggest play of the game right there. Right? I think we thought we were off the field on third down, and they got sent back on.
Does it make it harder to call plays, though, when the run game is...
We didn't. I don't think we tried to call many run game plays, to be honest with you. I don't think they did. And then when we ran the ball, P. Ryan had 7 carries, 31 yards. Right? Pierce, 3 for 13, right? I don't know, 10 for 44 for the running backs. We just didn't run the ball much.
What did you think of his performance and the lack of pressure?
Yeah, I thought he did a good job. They did their O-line. Give their O-line credit. They did a good job of not allowing pressure.
What do you attribute their success on third down to, their offense?
Well, you can go in every direction you want to go, right? Right? We had a missed tackle. They got helped out a couple times. Missed coverage. So.
Dan, everyone knew the stakes were really high in this game. Obviously, SEC title chances, playoff chances, but it was the same last year as well. So do you draw on how last year finished at all? Does that translate? Have you talked to the guys about that at all?
No, every year is independent of itself. So
what is there then left to play for you guys?
a lot, right? There's a lot of football still left to be played in the league. The division hasn't been clinched by anybody, and it wasn't going to be clinched today by anybody. So, whether we won or lost the game, next week's game is a really big game for us, and that's how it works.
Georgia was 12 for 17 on third down.
Yeah.
Fromm made a lot of big throws. Were you trying to confuse him with
we called a lot of different defenses. Like I just said, there's a lot of different answers for why they were good on third down. They're not one thing. There's a lot of different ones.
Is there a reason you didn't pressure him more on third down?
No.
When you knew it was match situation?
No. We mixed up different looks. Like I said, those are 18 third downs. So each one of them is going to be pretty independent, to be honest with you. So, a couple by penalty, right? I think we had a penalty on third down, gave him a first down. We had overturn or call stands. Thought that was one of the biggest plays of the game.
Yeah, a couple of call stands were big plays. Couldn't get off the field. 12 for 18 on third down was Georgia, and that was them struggling at third down on the stretch. Yeah, go ahead.
He said each of those third downs is independent of one another. I'll tell you, the theme, though, is that they weren't able to get any pressure on Jake Fromm on any of those third downs. In fact, the entire day, I thought the offensive line and the running backs did a great job picking up the blitzes. And what is Florida known for? Todd Grantham brings pressure, but every time they did, particularly on third down, they picked up the pressure and allowed Fromm to have time to throw the football where guys were uncovering in the secondary, something they haven't done as well in previous games.
Yeah, but yes, that's true. I just saw from the beginning of the game, CD, everything out of sorts for Florida. Starting with a 4th and inches call where they were going to throw it, and they threw the ball into coverage. 4th and inches in those type of games, look, anybody can sit back and question it, but I'm sitting here thinking, I'm going to put the ball on 4th and inches down, and I'm going to run for a first down. I'm going to make a statement early in the game, right? That was one thing where it started. Then after that, I just saw everything out of sorts. I saw unneeded timeouts, right? Clock management. Why are we calling a timeout in the first quarter unneeded? So was there not enough people on the field? I saw that happen. At the end of the game, you're down 2 scores in the 4th quarter. I didn't see a lot of urgency right now, in the drive. I know it was a long, methodical drive. I agree, don't panic, but don't let the clock run down to 8 seconds to snap the football.
It felt like they were down 1 possession, not 2.
That's what it looked like. That's what the drive looked like. And look, I understand, don't panic. But I think Dan said it really good in the press conference right there. He said, we'll look back on some things tomorrow and want to do some things differently. I think that's what they're going to do. I saw him come unglued on a timeout they had to take in the second half for what? Not enough people on the field.
The receivers were misaligned.
Yeah, so you got misalignments. You got guys covering guys up. You're seeing penalties for, illegal formations. I just felt like all day it was almost, and I'm not trying to take any credit from Georgia. I thought their game plan was excellent. I thought their players played their tail off. But Florida imploded at times today in the biggest game of the year with the most on the line.
You said yesterday that Georgia was a little predictable on offense. You might have used the word vanilla, something along those lines. Did you see a different approach in this game, or did you see more of that, just better execution in it?
I saw a little bit of both. I'm going to tell you, you're going to look at why Cager was wide open on that touchdown, and you're going to see a great play call against a great coverage. I don't care how you do it. That play was hard to defend, but it required Georgia to protect the quarterback for 4.5 seconds to get the ball off, right? So it was a little bit of Georgia being more creative. And look, the bottom line is they out-executed Florida today almost the entire day.
To your point, that play came off of play action. In order to have play action be effective, you got to be able to run the football well. They didn't run the football on their biggest day of running the ball, but DeAndre Swift ran the ball effectively enough that the play action worked. And coming into this game, Dari, Jake Fromm is at his best on that play action, 77% when he's executing the play action pass. And so today they mixed in just enough run game and had some of their biggest plays of the afternoon on that play action. And we talked about the passing game. They haven't had those explosive plays down the field. Today they had 5 plays over 20 yards, and 4 of them came in the passing game.
And I will say this, DeAndre Swift, I thought Georgia did the right thing today. DeAndre Swift is best, and I say it every week, when they stretch the defense horizontally and let him get downhill. And that happened repeatedly today on the runs of his that were explosive runs.
They got him the ball on the outside zone, toss sweep, screen passes, those plays designed to get him the ball in space. He's their best player. They got to do that.
And the bottom line is this. Everything's in front of Georgia. Those rankings, new first college football playoff rankings come out on Tuesday. Everything's in front of them. Wherever they are, that's fine. They know they got Auburn.
Yep.
They know they'll have a shot at Alabama or LSU, and you've got to figure their dreams, their playoff hopes are still very much in play because of this win.